Hi, this is Man from Alaska. I just wanted to do a quick tabletop review of the Kukri House American Eagle Kukri. This model is a modernized version of the Kukri. This company was established in 1991, and they are the kind of the main distributor seller of the original Kukris that have been made by these blacksmiths in Nepal. They're actually the blacksmiths who make them for the Nepalese government, for the Gurkha regiments. Been doing so for a long time. I'll go over this real quickly. The scabbard is made out of wood, and then it is wrapped with a water buffalo leather. And it's nicely done. You can see it's sewn up very nicely. The end cap is made out of a steel sheet metal piece that's been welded on the back, nicely done. You can't see the seam, and that's nicely fitted. On the back side, you can see there's the seam that runs along where it's been sewn, and then you have two belt loops for it, which are sewn, and then they also have 3 rivets on each piece. The handle of this model, you can see, is different in that it has the front guard here, and then has the pommel, and then it has a regular handle design. This actually has a full tang handle, so that from the blade goes completely down to here on either side, which makes it a lot stronger. The handle scales are made out of Indian rosewood. They're riveted in place with a steel rivet, which has a looks like a brass piece of tubing around that, so it kind of gives it a nice look. The blade itself, pull this out for you. The blade itself is 10 inches long. The overall length of this blade, or this knife, is about 13 inches long. You can see the blade has a fuller on the top on either side, and then has the traditional cutout on the blade. The blade itself, as you can see, is highly polished, and it's done very nicely. The fit up on everything, the handle scales, the pommel, and the hand guard are all done very nicely. They're actually welded to the blade, so you're not going to have to worry about those coming loose. This is a pretty substantial knife. It weighs 825 grams, which equates to about just a shy over 29 ounces. Has a really nice feel in my hand. I'd probably have medium-sized hands, and this thing fits really nice. I think it'll work really well for chopping and doing bushcraft chores. Let's see. The blade thickness, as you can see, is quite thick. You compare that to my finger, and it's about the thickness of my finger, a little bit thinner, and that runs all the way down to the tip. So this blade is hefty. I mean, it's can't really appreciate the weight of one of these things until you hold it. The reason I wanted this was for bushcraft use. I have always been a tomahawk guy. I think the utility of a tomahawk is a great thing to have with you when you're out in the bush. I've used one most of my life, but I want to try something different. And I've always been interested in the Kukris. And I didn't like the handle design of the original versions, and that's why I started looking at this one. And that handle is really comfortable. The thing I like about it, especially on a blade like this, if you're chopping, having that hand guard there to keep your hand from sliding forward on that is a very big benefit, in my opinion. You do not want your fingers sliding forward on this blade, because especially with the blade design, if you were to slide forward, you could easily take off your fingers. And doing a lot of heavy cutting and stuff with it for bushcraft, I think that's kind of a necessary addition to it. So overall, I'm pretty impressed with it. The build quality is nice. They're, for what you're getting, a handmade knife, they're pretty reasonably priced. I think this one on their website retails for around 60 something dollars US. And then the shipping on it wasn't too much, but since it is coming from halfway around the world, it took about a month and a half to get. So be prepared to wait a little bit, but I think the money is well worth it, and I'm impressed with it. I'm excited about getting out and trying it out in the field, and I'll try to do that sometime this month and take some videos of it actually being used, and that way you can kind of see how it works when you're using it in a bushcraft environment. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll get back to you more with some actual usage of this kukri.